Your name is going to be in every video. I'm going to do a recap in this video now about some time back when Noodles, aka David Buldo at 399 Beach Street, Washington Township, New Jersey, said to me, well, he just manipulated our war. Well, me and Anderson Henderson were at odds, okay? I'm not saying it was totally pretty, alright? Me and Abby and him were kind of arguing amongst each other or whatever, alright? That's how that started. But then over time, as Noodles came to this community, alright? Noodles came to our little corner of YouTube. Am I on? I gotta see if I'm connected. I guess I gotta wait a minute for this to start. I don't know. But he manipulated my fight with Anderson Henderson sometime back. Where Anderson was building his channel to 1,500 subs, Noodles instigated that entire friggin' time. Here was this guy, he never really did live streams at the time, but he was instigating in the side chats, trying to get on Anderson's side and trying to promote himself. And anyone who rejected him, he would go against, and I just happened to be the one because I didn't put up with his crap. He wanted to promote himself and do all this fucking shit, and I'm like, no, you're not doing that here. So then he went against me and went to Anderson Henderson's, and then there was a sub war with me and Anderson Henderson. But whether people knew it or not, Noodles was a big part of that. He was a big part of our fight that continuously went through the summer of 2019. So you think this guy is a good guy? Think again. He is the biggest shit stirrer, the worst person I've ever run into on here. And I will spread the message as much as it takes, because enough is enough, and it's time for a change, and it's time for this motherfucker to die. It's time for him to go. How can you be this kind of person? I've never met anybody like this in my whole life. The closest person has been my father. And he exceeds my father. My God. This is what happened, though. He was the one behind the scenes getting in Anderson's ear over me, alright? Even if me and Anderson were never really friends, him meddling made it worse. I'm telling you right now, it's the truth. Whether some of you don't want to believe it or not, I know a lot of you know it deep down. And Anderson, you fucking deep down know it in your heart that before anyone like this came along, it was never this bad. And then things happened and you got caught up and you dated Liz and you groomed Liz or whatever the hell. But before that, it was not this bad. Even with the 6999. No. It still wasn't this bad. Even though they had a reign of terror. Even though Ram Hat was as good as he did, or was good at what he did for his time, he was like the border of his time. Ram Hat. Despite all that shit going on or whatever, even with Tasco was friggin' bad. Tasco was bad. But if I have to think of a bigger nemesis that I've had than Tasco, it's Noodles. Tasco was bad, too. Tasco was sad. Tasco was a basket case. Tasco was sick. Tasco was a gun nut. It just turns out all my rivals on here have been gun nuts. All of my major rivals on here have been gun nuts. It just so happens. What are the odds? Gun nuts are assholes, is what this really fucking says. Gun nuts are assholes. And this guy's doing it in New Jersey. Tasco did it in California. Noodles is doing it in New Jersey. Noodles is worse. I'm wondering how the hell he's able to do it in New Jersey. Nepotism to the highest. Even California's not as bad with gun laws. New Jersey's the worst. But Tasco was in California and he was a gun nut, and I couldn't stand him. But to think Noodles could be worse than this guy? Well, there is someone worse than Tasco. His name is David Buldo, ladies and gentlemen. He exceeds Tasco. He makes Tasco look like a walk in the park, actually. And I never thought I'd say that. Because Tasco got to me good years ago, when I was more inexperienced on here. But if I was to face off with Tasco now, I'm telling you right now, he's a walk in the park next to Noodles. And Barty, you might remember Tasco. Clarify in private if you remember Tasco or not. Clarify that to me. It expanded Celt or any of them. Hell, even Carlos is ice cream next to you. Truth is, if I want anyone dead the most, it's you, Noodles. I'll tell you right now. And Carlos has aggravated me at times. I've wanted to go out and get Carlos. But Noodles is the absolute worst. The absolute worst. But if Noodles never showed up, I would probably think Carlos and Anderson are the worst. Honestly. But at the end of the day, would that have been anything next to Noodles? No. It wouldn't have been. In fact, I would have left the community. In fact, I blame Noodles for myself being around longer. Because he's such a fucking shit show that I have to watch him. I never know if he's going to mention me. I never know who he's going to mention. And this is no promotion. If I'm putting your name in the title, it's because I'm exposing you to people who could potentially hurt you. That's why I have your name in the title, because I want you hurt badly at the very least. So I'm going to stop putting your name in the title. And if people like what I'm saying, then they can subscribe to me and they can ask me all the questions they need to ask. But this is what's going on. Noodles hates trans people the most. He might not mind certain gay people, but he hates trans people. I'm telling you the truth right here. Well, I'm not going to let him. If he wants to ride my coattails, I'm just going to expose him as a horrible person. That's all I'm going to do. That's what he's going to get every time he rides my... And he struck me, too. Noodles strikes channels. I thought he was so for free speech, right? I guess when he's really scared, he flags. I guess I triggered him to flag me that damn fucking much, huh? Good luck trying to get me flagged again. Because if you do, you will be exposed as a flagging crybaby who just cannot measure up. You are inferior in every fucking way, you piece of shit scumbag. I'm serious right now. I normally don't carry weapons, but I'll tell you, I'd get them ready for you. I would definitely get them ready for you. The right way forward is to be as left-wing as you can get, because your agenda is horrible. You're horrible. The people you support are horrible. Trucker convoy? Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. You know, Proud Boys. But you're worse than any of them. That's what's fucking crazy is you're worse. You'd get thrown out of their groups if you were there. They wouldn't like you for very long. Maybe at the beginning. And then they'd fall for your okie doke. Okay, cool, we're friends. But then you'd fuck them over again. They'd want to murder you. Trust me, a white nationalist group wanted to come after me. And someone good enough told me these guys want to hurt you bad. You know, they think you're an agent provocateur. You've been saying some things that pissed them off, and I'm not going to do anything, but I'm just letting you know right now it's best if you leave. I'm going to show you the door right now. Because people have told me and they want to kill you because they know I'm hanging out with you. I'm telling you. No one wants Noodles around at all. And Hams, I'm going to add you as a mod in case he still is moderating. I'm going to refresh my mods. That's what I'm going to do right here. And I'm going to add you as a mod. To Josh, right there. Uh-huh. Everything was blank when I checked it last. There's no mods. None. In fact, if I show you, I'll show you the evidence right now. I'll show the evidence right now. Just in case you see him and he's a rogue modded here again, I'm going to show you right now. He's the worst terror that I've ever known. He's so bad right now that even if his dogs had to die with him, so be it. So be it now. I'm taking no prisoners anymore. If his dogs have to die with him, and Johnny What has to be hurt too, then so be it. You are the company you keep. The company that they keep is a reflection of them too. So tell Johnny what he's also at risk at this fucking point. I didn't want it to end this way. I didn't want it to end this way, Noodles. But you just had to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and now it's going to be everyone who's around you that's at risk now. Do you realize this is what you did? You're putting Johnny What and your dogs at risk because of your behavior. I hope you know this. I hope you fucking know this. In the end days, the people around you are going to get attacked. Your father is going to get attacked. I'm not above that at all. I'll do it. Given the opportunity, I'll strike when the iron is hot. Trust me. I'm not going to say exactly what I'm going to do, but I'll tell you right now. You're pushing me to do this. You're pushing me to do this, and it's not going to be pretty when it happens. I'm telling you, right now. I always told you I'm the wrong one to mess with. I'm the wrong one to mess with. I said that from the get-go. And you're reacting to my curses. That's what's going on here. And you're very, Hold on one sec here. I gotta check something over here now. But as people come in, I'm gonna remod them. That's what's gonna go on here. Hi Hannah, what's going on? I'll add you back. Candy Morgan, what is it, Candy Morgan? So right now I have 4 mods. 4 mods, okay? This is proof that I do not have Noodles anywhere in here, and I fucking got rid of all my mods, and I'm remodding right now. He is not anywhere in here. He does not have special mod privileges, in case people think that is the case, but he does not. Nobody is above the regular moderators on here. Chose his fate a long time ago when you called him out for being a piece of shit. Yes, he did. Because it started it started a long time ago when no one knew who he really was, and I pegged him and he was being a real jerk. He was always a jerk. He wasn't any nicer back then. It's just that he's gotten crazier today. He was not any nicer back then. He was always an asshole. He was always a homophobic, racist, trans-hating person. And he's going out to say that I'm profiting off the LGBT? I'm profiting off the LGBT and I'm the bad one? How's that? How the fuck is that happening? How am I profiting off the LGBT? How am I? Just because I called out their inequality going on? If I've ever called them out for anything? Noodles is no authority on the trans community or the LGBT. He is not. I don't care how many gay friends he had. They all sold out and voted Republican. His friends are like Milo Yiannopoulos. That's what his friends are like. Sellout Uncle Tom gay people. Those are the people he's friends with. Those are not my friends. I'll certainly tell you that. They're the sellout Uncle Toms of the gay community. That are his friends. I'm telling you right now. And he doesn't like that my bill, if I was ever to run for president, my bill would include all the equality in the world, free health care, reparations for black people, and all that kind of stuff. I would be the most fair candidate that there has ever been. And of course, there'd be some people not too happy, probably. But you know what? Fuck them. But I would make Obama look like a walk in the park. That's how angry I'm fucking getting at everything. That's how angry I'm getting at my transness being bashed by the heavy right. That's how angry I'm getting to motivate me to want to be as far left as I could possibly get. And I will go into the political arena even if I have to be poor. And later on, be lifted up into a position. I don't give a fuck. I plan on changing the world. And for the better. I just haven't got too many leads. But I would do it if I got the opportunity. Absolutely. How would I fight it? Well, in the meantime, I'd have to give extra money to people for gas prices, kind of like what Joe Biden's been doing. Put a little extra money in people's accounts, maybe, to fight it. But I mean, as far as you know, I would not want high gas prices, but if it's a product, what they're doing is they're raising gas prices because they want to switch to electric cars. That's what they want to do. And maybe it would actually be better if we did have electric cars. Then there wouldn't be assholes in these big lifted trucks thinking they own the road. Right? And it may take years. It may take a lifetime. I don't know how long it would take. Maybe 20 years. I have no idea. But we got to get some kind of a system where it's more energy efficient. That would help. But this is what they're doing. They're raising the gas prices in hopes that they switch to electric cars. And if it happened, great. But at the meantime, it's killing people at the pump, though. It is. There's no question it is. But you know what? Those are the breaks at the time. Every place is getting expensive right now. Everything. People are saying these electric cars are not clean and they catch fire horribly. Well, if that be the case, then I don't know what to say. Walk. Walk. Let's make our structure. Let's build new places to gear ourselves around walking. And then you could use electric cars sparingly or something. You don't have to use it for your every use, but use it here and there. Don't abuse it. Don't drive it as much as people drive regular cars. That's probably my advice for electric cars. And I would say walk. We should be walking, you know? We should do more walking. We should even build structures to walk in close distances to things. You know, to have your doctor's office, the bars, the wherever else, your things of basic needs in a little area. You know, in even new neighborhoods, they're building these subdivisions with all these expensive homes, but they should build them like small urban areas. They should have walkability, bikeability. They should have some things. I mean, they shouldn't necessarily but then again, they can make the lanes so small and the cars a little smaller to where bikes could fit in the road with the cars because the cars would be smaller. I mean, there's a way to do things, but the way it's going now, I mean, a bike cannot obviously be in the flow of traffic right now. Obviously. But you have to do things in a certain way. I pretty much want to make it like England, Herbert. Like in England with another edge to it, kind of. Kind of like how it is in England. I would like to make it here in a different way. You know? That's actually looking really good where everything is going so far in the backwards direction around here in the States. You know? And yeah, high gas prices are bad. But they're doing it because they want everyone to go to electric cars. That's what they want to do. And these are the growing pains, I guess you could say. These are the growing pains. But things have to change in some way. They do. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's true. So you people, you decide who's worse, me and Noodles, me and him. If you're in your right mind, you'll say him in a landslide. Don't let the mainstream media brainwash you into thinking that left-wing ideas are bad. Don't let them brainwash you. Because they're trying to win and they're trying to look like they're the helpless ones being the attacks of leftists. It's not really that way. You know, there's certain things that occur and there's a response level that you have to react to certain forces and whatnot. But they're halfway to self-driving cars. Yeah, kind of. But we got to get the ones we could drive, you know. And if there are ones on the road, maybe that drive themselves, well, maybe they can have a camera in them or something, like a camera. They could be camcorder cars, maybe, and they can film certain things. I don't know. I haven't totally read into it a hell of a lot, but Anderson, Slingshot Warrior, you and many others have distanced themselves from Poodles. Poodles is a dirty bird. He absolutely is. He's a dirty bird. And I'm on the. And I'd like to say I'm on the opposite spectrum of Slingshot Warrior politically. But am I really? That's the question. But Anderson's pretty much. I think Anderson trolled when he said that he wanted to partner up with New. I think he trolled. I really do. Knowing this guy as long as I did, he wouldn't just go with somebody he talks so much shit about. He broke off with him for the longest time I've ever seen him broken off from him. You know, out of all the months they worked together, this is the longest they've had a hiatus where they didn't talk. So at this point, I think he was trolling him, honestly. You're more likely to be run over by a silent electric car. When I was in the city, my electric car nearly I don't know. It's really. I don't know about a silent electric car. I don't know. But I just know that. Now, me, I have a small cab truck, okay? I don't waste a lot of energy. But if there was an opportunity to have a totally progressive society socially and in everyday life to make people's lives easier, I would do it. I would totally be on board for that. And that's what these groups are missing. They're not fighting hard in America for this kind of thing, you know? See, this is the difference why I could go in the history books like this. North Sac Maniac, what's going on with you? Sacramento could be a test city, actually, for this kind of thing, because Sacramento has a streetcar. And Sacramento does have a transit system. It's a pretty, I think, an overall decent system, seeing it isn't the max in Portland or like the T in Boston. I think Sacramento might have the third or the fourth most decent rail system, I think, in the United States. They might have the third or the fourth, I'm thinking. No, maybe the fourth, because you got Chicago, too. New York, Boston, Portland, Chicago. Maybe they're fifth or sixth. I don't know. Probably something like that. Have I been to not all of the states? No. Why? Herbert, I'll give you a wrench again here. North Sac Maniac, I'll give you one. Aaron, I'll give you one. Painter, I'll give you. I already gave you one. Alright, I'm redoing my mods here now. But look at the emails Noodles sent me though. Look at this. He probably sent me another one. Look at this shit. Tonight, 12:01. We're talking less than an hour ago. Look, 12:03. He keeps writing me. Look. Border can't save you. Get that dono while you still can on that bullshit lie of a channel. Bullshit lie of a channel? Talk about projecting, right? Am I a bullshit lie of a channel? My channel? Come off it. Removing nods will not stop me. I will get my wrenches back. This guy's bad. I'm telling you now, even if people think certain things about me, fight with me to take this evil down. Removing mods will not stop me. I will get my wrenches back. Trust me, you retarded queer dyke. That's what he said. He calls me a retarded queer dyke right here. Hateful. And plus, I'm getting a warning message that this is phishing right here, too. So he's using another account right here. I will get twice as many wrenches as... This guy, you can see why I got pissed off, right? This guy is so bad. There's no redeeming him. He's worse than Cyrax. He's worse than Elvis. He's worse than Rich Life. Yes, I said it. He's worse than all of them. Okay? He's worse than Harold. Trust me. Trust me. My mentor Harold. Coach Harold. He's worse. I'm serious on this shit. God damn. He makes Harold look good. For real. Plus he said he was a pedophile. He wanted to go to Japan and fuck a 13-year-old girl. I mean, really. Could these emails be from a troll? It is him. Come off it. No, that's him. Because it's going along. He's not live whenever he's writing these. He's never writing these when he's live. Okay? When he's not live, he writes these to me. During my show, he writes these to me. Because he can't speak in my room. So he writes them on the email right here. And I've been entertaining it because I just want to show what a fuckbag he is. That's what I want to show. And he's glowing. Look at this shit. This is really him, folks. This is his channel. Look at that. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. Everyone is already. What's this shit say? It says celebrating the death of your channel. Your channel with an R. And then soon the death of you, John. And you're telling me this guy is harmless? You're telling me that I have no right to go at him and say I'm gonna kill him when he's he deserves every little bit of this shit and he won't change to save his fucking life? I have every right to kill him. I have every fucking right in the world. And I said you're gonna die. That dude you paid to shout you out and said you're gonna die, take it serious. It's real. It's coming, is what I say to him. You get on that son of a bitch's level is what you do. Right there. That guy that said you're gonna die, right? That he shouted out, that Noodles Muscle Planet shout out, that bald, whoever that was, I forget, who says you're gonna die. That was a message to him, whether people know it or not. He was literally saying you're gonna die, and he didn't say a name, but he talked in the Noodles camera when he said you're gonna die. Think about that. That's subliminal messages right there. 3 years. And it has not been a pleasure. Trust me, it has not been a pleasure. And I'm saying that wholeheartedly. Someone's got to do this because no one's going live about him nonstop. Someone has to do it. I'll be the one to do it. Right, and he thinks he's above the law. That's why he's doing it, Herbert. He thinks he's above the law. That's why he's doing it. That's why he's doing it, because he thinks he's above the law. And he literally said he is the police to me. He told me he is the... Remember those informants? They didn't like informants in the white nationalist community and shit? This guy would be the perfect informant to a white nationalist community. He would have been the disruptor. He would have been a disruptor back in the day. He absolutely would have been. He makes Harold Covington look good. I hate to say he makes Harold Covington look good. He makes who's that person there? Not Tom Metzger. Oh, he makes him look good, yeah. He thinks he's more. He thinks he's a voice for the LGBT. This is the fucking shit. He thinks stop trying to profit off the LGBTQ like he is the. He's like giving himself away that he is the fascist LGBT right now. He is the fascist LGBT. The very faggot that a lot of us didn't like when we were in the white nationalist movement. It's just times have changed now and I'm the trans person, okay? But back then, he would have been on the losing side. He would have been the degenerate that people on the sites I went to did not want. It's just the times have changed and the sides have changed. Okay? So he says, stop trying to profit off of the LGBT as well because you're nothing more than a cross-dressing queer closet. Says the closet faggot. I mean, Christ, this is coming from a closet faggot himself, dude. That is afraid to actually fight for something because you'll never have the balls to fight for anything in your life. That's why you think you're a woman when you're just a ballless, cross-dressing closet faggot, you inbred moron? Is it safe to say he would have been the liberal hater of the day back in time? When I was the one who spoke the truth and was politically incorrect and leaning more right, that he would have been on the hard left back then? But it's just now the sides have changed completely. And we're on different sides then, and we're on different sides now. Possibly? Possibly. Because I did this whole right-wing talk radio thing way before it was cool. I was recording my voice in 1999, 2000, when I was 20. What took you so long, Noodles? I was doing the shit you're doing when I was 20. 20! I wasn't 41, I was 20. And I was doing that same shit you're doing. I was like a Howard Stern right-wing persona of some kind. Well, I wasn't a persona, but I practiced on tape and I played it to people is what I did. And I did some really entertaining rants. So is it safe to say years later you came along and stole my whole thing? Not realizing it? Because when I was 20, I had beer bottles. I took pictures of beer that I drank and I laughed about it. I was doing like the whole Howard Stern type thing and the voice recordings. And I did that shit when I was 20. And even then, I wasn't as malicious as you. You are out of bounds, dude. Completely out of bounds with your life and your decisions. That's true. I had that idea. What he's doing now, I did then. That whole dramedy thing, I did it years ago and I put it behind me. So he's doing dramedy 20 fucking years later. And I'm like, I forgot about it so much. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because I just didn't do it in so many years. That Opie and Anthony kind of shit. I was into that when I was 20. I prank called classmates. I delivered pizzas to classmates who bothered me. Okay, I delivered pizzas to classmates who bothered me. Yeah, I did. Are you gonna say I'm Barter now? So I'm Matthew Potts and I'm possibly Barter now. Probably, right? If you really want to get technical. But I did this whole thing before you. The whole idea of this right-wing Howard Stern kind of thing. And I didn't even know what trans was back then. So when the whole idea got introduced to me back then, I'm like, wow, this is so weird because I never see any white people doing this whole trans thing. I see the first person doing it was an Asian person. When I was with my friend in a mall, this hot looking girl was talking to my friend and said that she's transgender. You know what that is? And I was just looking in awe, like, what? So then he talked to her or whatever, and then I said to him, would you really date that thing? Would you really date that thing? Because I didn't know what it was at the friggin' time, you know? So at that time, that's when it first got introduced to me because nobody white in Massachusetts was a trans person in 1997, 1998, 99, 2000 even. It wasn't the case. So when it got first introduced to me, it was through an Asian person who I met in the Nashua Mall when I was with a friend. Someone Asian from Lowell was the first person I've met like that. And it was a foreign concept because people just didn't talk about it where I went to school, or they kept closeted. It was like the total preppy white environment. I went to school in a preppy white environment, kind of, where I was the underclass, but I still was around a preppy white environment. I just wasn't too well liked, really, in some ways, because they were just too preppy or whatever. And I really wasn't as much. That's about it, though. I mean, but back at that time, if you were trans, no one came out about it. I did not go to college. No, I didn't. But then as time went on, then in the 2000s, gradually I started being introduced to trans people. And little by little, I warmed up to them and I realized, shit, more white people are actually trans on the internet. And I met more from Canada. Canada was one country I met someone white from who did trans stuff. And then people in California, maybe some other people in other parts of the country. And I'm like, huh. I'm not exactly trans, but I'll be open to dating a trans person. Okay, I'm talking to this one. I'm trolling another group of them, but I'm still talking to this trans person. I'm still talking to this trans person, but I'm trolling the bulk of them. Okay. So, when I was anything like Noodles, I was years ago. Vixen, I had to unmod my people because Noodles has a rogue wrench in here. This guy's a piece of shit. Vegas Vixen. I'm telling you. I thought I got rid of him as a wretch, but he still has a wretch in here. This is the worst human being I've ever come across. Ever. He's terrible. The most sinful, disgusting ass person that I've ever come across. Who likes to corrupt everybody's lives that he meets. He's disgusting. I know you're not. You're good. You're fine. I wanted to talk to you. How come you didn't respond to my private messages? I have something to discuss with you, and we need to discuss it, okay? Me and you. Nothing to do with any of this YouTube bullshit. But I have something to tell you, alright? Or at least ask you of. It's important. It's extremely important. Alright? Promise me now. But we're going to discuss this sometime, like, soon. Alright, well, I'll hold you to it then. So anyways. There's a delay if you unsub somebody, they don't disappear from the list until a day or so. And no, this isn't a day. This is more than one day. I deleted him from the mods 3 days ago. 3 days ago, he had a rogue, and I thought I deleted him. But he's still in there tonight, so I had to get rid of all my mods. I had to get rid of all my mods. But he revealed himself as a faggot who could not take any criticism. So the tides are changing. They really are changing. The side you're on, Noodles, and you're not going to be cool anymore. The side you're on may be having their run right now. They may be influential to people, but trust me, the side of everyone opposed to the death of the Doss, I'm not opposed. Trust me, because they're a part of him at this point. They're not going to have a new owner. There's no getting them away from him. We've tried all that, right? They're part of him now. So they're fair game as far as I'm concerned, Potter. They're fair game. So that's where I stand with that. Maybe we can arrange murdering the dogs before actually murder. Yeah, let's talk about that. Hold on. But I love that this is on the surface now. I really love that that's talks are going around. Even if it doesn't officially happen, the fact that the talks are going around means the energy is around. Okay? It means the energy is around at the very least. And if it's up to someone, if someone else wants to take it in their own hands too, they can. You know? You may not even have to pay anybody to do it. You know? Noodles spent $10,000 for someone to stalk me. Do you know how stupid that is? If I was going to spend that much money, I'd want to have them murdered on site. I wouldn't be spending money to stalk somebody. That's ridiculous. That's stupid. That's intrusive, and that's just stupid. At least if you put a bullet through their head, they wouldn't know what the hell happened. You don't hire someone to stalk somebody, though. That is ridiculous. That is fucking ridiculous, you know? No, it isn't, because this guy did have a few locations correct. And Noodles talked as if he did pay somebody. As much as you might think it's bullshit, maybe he did pay, and I just don't think the job went like he planned. But he got a few locations right in the beginning. He did. But ever since he saw me at this plaza, I've not heard about him or from him. And it looks like he's given up. Yeah, why would he do that? There's 10K. Well, he would, I guess. He's living in an alternate reality. For 10K? Who would you stalk for 10K? Vegas? Who? The Borg? What Borg gave him support? Who gave him support? I need to know who gave Noodles support. What Borg? And how much money do they have? What is their net worth? Who are the supporters of Noodles? Who did this? Who did this? Tell me who did this. Yeah, but you won't find me in real life unless I arrange it with you. And that's why I want to discuss my next thing with you. We got some unfinished business here. I got to talk to you about in private. Okay? Okay, I know you were joking. You don't stalk anybody. I know. You're curious. You're, at the very most, Vegas Vixen, you're curious, okay? You're just curious. You're not a malicious person by any means. Okay? I'll say that about you. My memory is failing me. Maybe if I had a wrench, it might bring me back. Okay, well, there you go. There's your wrench right there. So, 10K. Yeah, I already read that off. Stalk yourself for 10K. Isn't this ridiculous? 10K to stalk me. This is just so ridiculous. Other people should be talking about this. Should make headlines, and it isn't. I guess because it's Melton John, nobody really thinks about me in that way, huh? I guess everybody else, don't give who? The guy, bro? Who is that? What about the guy, bro? Who is that? Oh, it was? Well, I'll tell you what. For now, I have to take that away then. All right, Barter, you're right. I have to take that away right now. She lived in Annandale, Virginia, about an hour's drive away. To think that Noodles would change the name to Maud and then change it back just like that, that takes a lot of time to do. All right. Investigators found something else. A second cell phone registered to Julie Groves was used to call Ty Lathan 22 times in the hours leading up to the shooting. Well, Barter, since you seem to know who that is, I take your word I unmodded him, all right? I know. How did you run into me? No, we'll discuss it later. I sent you an email over there, over in that place, okay? Investigators were about to interview. Yeah, well, right now the jury is out on you, guy, bro. Okay, maybe if you talk a little bit more, or you say more opinions or something. But I don't know what the obsession with having a wrench is anyway. I choose to give him based on how I feel. All right. Not everybody has to have a wrench in here. Bloated Kiki? BK? Is that who you're talking about? Bloated Kiki? Maybe it's just luck, huh? Or some by chance thing that I'm running into you in other places outside of here. Because that wasn't. You must have looked for something and you found me, right? You looked for a certain hashtag, right? You looked for a certain interest and you happened to find me. You looked for certain things, though, right? And I just happened to slip into your feed, right? Is that how that worked? Quickly, I'm not going to say where it was, but I happened to slip into your feed somehow, right? When you were looking for things, and I happened to put the right word down, and you found it somehow, I guess. Maybe it was a food video. Maybe it was a trans video. Maybe it was a. But I didn't show up because I came from YouTube, right? Was that why? Because I didn't come from YouTube. I didn't show up because of that, right? You just happened to find me randomly there, right? Because I must have tagged a certain word. That's funny if that actually did happen. That would be funny, actually. So who did you get sent here by, guy, bro? Let's talk about this. Who did you get sent here by? What can you give me for information? You got sent here by who, guy, bro? Who? I need to know that before I give you a wrench back. Who sent you to my channel? Who sent you to my channel? No, because I didn't find you first, Vegas. I didn't find you first. I don't recall that at all. Actually. Seasons Clayton. So do you know who the guy, bro, is, Barter? Fill me in if this guy's not going to tell me. Fill me in on who he is. I need to know everything. In case he wants to look for a wrench, I need to know everything about this person. But nah, he can get a timeout in the meantime. My memory is slipping. Bullshit. Come on. Come on. I need a second set of eyes sometimes. At certain times of night. I need a second. Alright, well, he's hidden. How about that? He's not allowed on here then. I get rid of him completely. So the person sending me those emails is not Noodles. It's somebody pretending to be Noodles. It is Noodles, though. It is Noodles, totally. I am convinced. This is his channel. Look. Noodles, this is Barter. This is his channel. That's him. That's the real Noodles. When he talked to you in private, tell me something. Did he ever talk like this to you? Did he ever talk like this to you in all capital letters? Is this Noodles right here? Barter, I need you at this moment to verify because I believe it totally 100% is, and this stuff cannot be taken back. Noodles will be blamed for this. For good. That was Noodles, though, in the email. Yes? Because those words were said right there, and they cannot be taken back, even if they're a fake. The account looks like his. That's right. I knew it, Bob. That's right. I knew it. He's the worst. He's the absolute worst. I can't fucking... Funny thing is, it was some time ago. I knew as bad as he was. I didn't think he sent those messages a long time ago, though, in the private emails. Christ, he is worse than anyone would have ever thought. I'm telling you. As a rule, they say humans haunted by... Oh. Noodles was the one rogue modding me, though, right, Barter? He was the one rogue modding me. I believe it was 100% him. See, this is the thing. He's not the smartest person in the world, and he's telling me I'm stupid. He's telling me that I'm not smart and that I can be taken advantage of and I'm not aware of my surroundings. He's telling me shit like that. He believes that I'm someone who is not aware of my surroundings. He believes that I'm this chump that I am not. He has mistaken me for a chump or something. Nope, I don't give a fuck. Noodles, you are finished. That's you. You're finished. I am never trusted you ever again. Ever again. Even if I didn't always see eye to eye with Barter, for Christ's sakes. Well, that was like one time. She wasn't, she doesn't go on there regularly. Okay, good. Okay. I know, I don't care if you're a Fed Barter. I want him taken down. I don't care what, if there's any consequence I'll face, chances are you're not a Fed, but I'm just saying, if you were, I want him taken down at all costs. I don't care if you're a Fed at this point. I don't care if you have to watch and stalk me as a Fed. I had to say what needs to be said. That's all this comes down to. I don't care if I'm risking anything by telling you that at this point. I don't. Slip cheese. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Trump supporter. Are you a Trump supporter? You never really talked to me about that. Are you a Trump supporter? Because I'm telling you right now, it's going to get worse than Trump. See, what people are overlooking, I think, that are Trump supporters, some people... Let me ask you this. Here's the greater question. Are you a Ron DeSantis supporter? This is where it's going to get dangerous. Are you a Ron DeSantis supporter? And I used to have a Confederate flag, and I'm telling you, this agenda is evil right now. If I'm saying it, what does that say? If I decided to come out as trans, what does that say about what our world is becoming right now? And I have to do what's right. And what I was hiding about myself. You know? As a rule, they say humans haunted by... I don't know what that means, dude. Shinnigan. What? I never talk about what's worse. It is worse than Trump. We have Biden. But no, it's going to get worse than Biden. Wait till Ron DeSantis gets in there. It's going to be worse than Biden, too. But no matter what, Trump and Biden are the two worst presidents there's been. There's no denying those are the two worst presidents ever. No matter how you want to slice the cake. All right. Here's the thing. What's my thoughts on Trump? Well, the only thing I liked about Trump, I would say, before was he was being funny to win the election. I guess you could say. Back at that time, I was like, he's not a politician. He's not. He's still. But then I was thinking, he's on every channel talking. Meanwhile, not every candidate is getting equal airplay to Trump. I'm like, okay, this is stupid now. They're pushing this guy clearly. So then I abandoned the idea of supporting Trump, you could say. But at the very beginning, he almost got me. I'd like to say. Pretty sure Biden doesn't remember where he is when he wakes up every morning. Are you sure about that? Biden's smarter than you think he is. He's not a good president, really, but he's smarter than you think he is, I think. Plus, the Democrats who voted in know he's not that good either, but like the Trump supporters, he was the lesser evil to them. So that's why they voted for him. They don't really love Biden, though. But he was the best they had. So, you look at it like that. By the way, listen to this, Vegas Vixen. There were Dixiecrat supporters from the past before Biden became vice president. Before Biden became vice president, there was this Dixiecrat who loved Joe Biden. He was raving up and down how Joe Biden was great, and he wanted Joe Biden to be the president. We're talking a Southern Democrat. He might have supported Trump in later years, I don't know, but I know back at that time he loved Joe Biden completely. You know Joe Biden from Tennessee? You know Joe Biden? Yeah. Well, I'm from Tennessee and Joe Biden was down here or whatever. Yeah, I love Joe Biden. Joe Biden would be awesome. You ever see Joe Biden? Like the way he talks, the way he speaks about things and stuff. Yeah, Joe Biden would be an awesome president. A Dixiecrat told me Joe Biden was great years and years ago. Believe it or not. Yeah, but it's the gas prices you're chasing. You gotta look at the whole picture, alright? You gotta see the whole picture. They're pushing gas prices up because they want to switch to electric cars, and these are just the growing pains. They're the growing pains, you know? We're eventually going to get off this terrible capitalist system that we're on. And when they get to an alternative energy, we're going to get to all that stuff eventually. I don't know how long it's going to take, but there is a plan in place. And even though it might seem very hard now, it won't be hard forever. All right. The only reason he voted him because he was the best option. Yes, you're right. They hated Trump so much that there were no better alternatives. Yes, that's right. Hey, Barter, what do you think it's going to be like when Ron DeSantis gets in? Half these Trump supporters are not even focusing on Ron DeSantis, how horrible he's going to be. He's going to be horrible when he gets in. Though probably the worst president of the three, probably. Worse than Trump and Biden. He's 43 years old. He's not even a boomer. But he acts so much like a boomer. You know? And he'll be the worst president, I think, of the three. Who would have thought? But you know what? Maybe that's what America needs. Maybe we need to be shut down with the switch. And then maybe we'll have to count on each other to be a community again, maybe. And have to fight the evil powers without electricity. and without our power, you know? Maybe some of us have to be on such hard times that we have to connect with our fellow person again. You know, maybe. I'm all game. I have very little to lose right now. Myself. It isn't like I benefited highly off the society we're in. I did not. Whatsoever. I've struggled my whole entire life. My whole entire life. So, choose to infuse with migraine prevention delivered differently. Talk to a neurologist or a migraine specialist about IMT. Learn how you can save. He would have offered hybrids until every gas station has. Well, that's an idea also. Julie Grubbs and her boyfriend Louis Phelps emerged as the prime. But I haven't read a whole lot about Elon Musk. I know he controls Twitter now. I don't know much about the guy though. Witnesses placed. I don't really read stuff like that about Twitter and all that. But someone using her cell phone called Ty Lathan 22 times in the hours leading up. Push that send button. You're hitting the tower. The cell tower. Started making the phone. And they were using DC power. They roll over into Fredericksburg Tower. Raves are suddenly. It's odd. So. I'm just doing whatever gets me by. Not really concerned about anything as long as the government keeps well, you talk more about it now than you ever did. Something changed with you, kind of. Right there. Two things. One, I didn't hear a lot of new information. If I run, well, I plan to run as a progressive. I'll tell you that right now. You know what would actually be on my bill? Reparations for black people. That would be on my bill if I ran. Yep. I would put that on there. I'd put that on there. I would put social protections in there of certain groups. I would rebuild. Try to help rebuild. Sometimes there's only so much you can do. When some people get in there, they realize they can't really do as much. But what about reparations to the Irish and Italians? Well, as far as that goes, I mean, those aren't the pressing issues. Irish and Italians. Well, I'm Italian, okay? And as far as, we should de-white Italians, okay? We should de-white Italians, get them out of the white race, okay? And then give reparations for black people. And we cannot make Italians white anymore, all right? We'll de-white Italian people. Because Italians aren't white, let's be honest. They're not white. You know? And I say that as an Italian person. Yes, they were. That's right. But we got to give everybody a chance here, too. Reparations for black people, that's the big hot topic. That's why I'm addressing that. Okay? Because that is the big hot topic right now. So as far as reparations for Italians go, well, if Italians speak up, then they can get them. But until then, I don't see too many really speaking up like I do the black community, you know? That's the thing. Italians consider themselves white now, for the most part. I don't, but a lot do. You know, a lot of them think that they're into whiteness so much now that it's like, hey, the Japanese in concentration. Wow, you never talked this much about this shit before to me. I didn't expect you to have this conversation with me in here today. I really did. But currently today, let's face it, black people do get discriminated against badly here. And a lot of them live like how I'm living, like from hotels to whatever else. That's the pressing issue. I'm addressing the pressing issues, okay? And reparations for black people is one of those hot ones. Oh, I see. I see. But Irish people do pretty well, I think. Don't you think Irish people do better than black people right now in America? If you really were to look at it, Irish did get their reparations to a point. The Japanese even got their reparations. But look at how many poor black people you still have in America. They can't, as a collective, do what the Japanese did. You look at the situations. Here, Irish people in America now are white. Really? I mean, are there indications of Irish people today that are discriminated against? Today, in this day and age? Does it happen anymore with Irish people? Because I'm not very Irish, don't forget. I'm primarily Italian. Um, but anything in 2022 that says the Irish are discriminated against, I'd like to see it. I'm going to Google it. Are Irish still discriminated against? I'm going to look it up. Are Irish still discriminated against? Let's see if that's the case in 2022. Are the Irish still discriminated? Does it say anything? If you want to go by Tasha Teeling, maybe. But there could be other ones, too. I don't know. Is there an anti-Irish sentiment? It says anti-Irish sentiment here. If it applies to the current day or not. It says anti-Irish sentiment includes oppression and persecution of hatred of Irish people and as an ethnic group. The ethnic Irish, yeah, have been. It can be directed against the island of Ireland in general, or directed against Irish immigrants and their descendants. The first record of anti-Irish comes from the Greek geographer Strabo in his work Geographica. Oh my God, all this reading. Christ. 1190. In the modern age, I don't think Irish face discrimination. I really don't. In the modern age, not really. A lot of Irish have positions of power now in America. A lot of them are selectmen in towns. A lot of them are, and a lot of them are Protestant too. Not just Catholic. They're part of the Protestant structure as well. And they. The person is over. No way. The least racist people are in their 60s, in my opinion. The most racist people are in their 40s and 50s, Vegas Vixen. The most racist people are younger now. They're younger. The people over 60 can't affect your life, really. That's the thing. I don't see racism with old people, really. When I was in South Carolina, you know where most of the racism came from? Younger people. Younger people. A small amount of blacks, lesbians, trans people, Latinos. It didn't come from the white Southerners as much as you would think, who were in their 60s. It really didn't. It came from other people down there. It didn't come from the stereotypical Southern white people. I just didn't see it, really. I saw other groups be racist down there, but not them. And it pisses me off when people call out whites for racism when most Irish. They were, but years ago. Look, people erased that identity. If Italians, the truth is, as an Italian American, I'm saying if Italians want reparations, they have to speak up as a group. Otherwise, black people are going to get it because they're the ones speaking up the most about their oppression right now. And the police killing black people disproportionately. That can't be ignored still. And they're the ones speaking up about it the most. The other groups aren't. You know? That's the thing. More people have to do it from the other groups. I could do it, but I also need other people doing it too. If I as an Italian person, feel discriminated against, I don't have too many around me who want to take this to City Hall. So it looks like the black people are doing it the most, you know? And you give it to the winner. You give the reward to the winner who's out there the most, right? That's how it works. Unfortunately. So black people would get reparations if I was president. Then in turn, if they get reparations, then that could make the world better for everybody else. When you think about it, because black people really aren't as systematically as racist as white people are. Systematically. It doesn't matter the words you say. Vegas Vixen. The Confederate flags, if white people have Confederate flags, that's not going to stop what's going. It's not going to stop you from advancing your goals. That's not the total be-all, end-all to racism right there. There is systemic racism out there, and it's very silent. People don't have to utter the word nigger out of their mouth. It's just very silent. Their type of racism is very silent, though. And I face that kind of racism all the time. Structural, systemic racism. And it's bad. It's a terrible thing. You know? You've heard that term, systemic racism, right? You're not exposed to racism at all in real life. You're a minority in Vegas, and having a Confederate flag does not mean you are racist. Okay, good. Alright. Just wanted to make sure. The lingo people call it like colored is over 60. Anyone over 70 in my book gets a pass on lingo if they unaggressively. Okay, that's true. That's very true. The 60 and 70 demographic. You're right. That's good. Okay. What was the setup? Ryuk, what was the setup? What are you saying here? Don't try to come in here and throw me off now. You're going to explain what the hell you're talking about, alright? Or you're not going to be in here. What was the setup? Hurry up with the answers. It's getting late. Hurry up. Don't just write something and be lame. No, you're out of here. That's not a good answer. Fuck you, bitch. That's not a good answer. Okay, it's Southern Pride, but if you are using it as a visual for promoting racism, that's different. Alright. Yeah. Irish people were not racist. Again, people wanted immigrants out. Nothing about race was Irish. Well, I do believe years ago Irish people were discriminated. Yes, they were. But as far as the modern day goes, I don't really see Irish people getting discriminated. I still see Italian discrimination to a point, but I don't really see Irish discrimination. You know, that's something I don't really see a whole lot of anymore. Just like the swastika backwards, it's traditional. Well, the swastika backwards, they usually say Jews write the swastika backwards. You know, that's a thing. If you see a swastika backwards, a Jewish person wrote it, as a rule. The actual swastika is an Indian symbol. It's just written differently. Hitler's was like flat. It was like flat, lined, and thick. You know, the Indians were more wobbly a little bit. They were wobbly and curled. I think their swastika was. Black people are a huge part of the world population. They don't need reparations, or else the progressive countries would have. But we're talking about the United States of America. Black Americans, okay? We're not talking about Africa. We're talking about black Americans. And by the way, the 13% black population is a lie. There are 32, probably about 30% blacks in this country. It's probably up to 30% in reality. It's not 13%. It's more than that. Okay? It's about more than that. Yes, it was hard to get jobs as Irish. That's when most people drop their O's off their names, and Italians drop their I's. Okay, good. That's fine. So there might have been. But what about Mac? MacDonald. What about names like MacDonald? Are those considered more white than O'Grady? Oh, when you're looking at the O names, those are the least white. Yeah, like O'Grady. McDonald. Anyone with the name MacDonald is not going to be discriminated against. I'll tell you that. Anyone with the name MacDonald will not be discriminated against. But O'Grady, you might have a case for. Yeah. Like, there's not too many people in too many locations, unless you're in Boston, where you can have the name O'Hallahan or O'Grady or O'Shea or O. Yeah, you really. I would have to say. Okay. But nowadays, I just don't see that as an issue, you know? The hot button thing right now is that black people are still getting discriminated against. And they're coming forward the most as a group. And anyone who comes forward the most as a group is gonna get it. You know, is gonna get the recognition. And trans people are gonna have their time too, at some point. You know, I would be very satisfied if even two groups got more rights. Let's say we pick two groups, black people and trans people. Let's say if those two got at least enough leg up to make things better. Let's just say it's black people and trans people. All right. That would be a good start, I think. I would say. Who are the Anglo-Saxons? They were the direct descendants from the original British. The Anglo-Saxons, you mean? Yeah. They were causing all the issues with early immigrants. Yes, they were. You're right. But even then, nowadays, someone who might have Anglo-Saxon ancestry in the modern day just might be a leftover from the past, like somebody who's just in a later time related to a group not doing as much anymore, you know? So they're not going to be an issue, per se. Like the Anglo-Saxon person who happened to grow up around Irish and Italians is going to be influenced by Irish and Italians, even though they might have an English Anglo-Saxon last name, you know what I mean? So something like that I don't think's really a big issue, you know? Robbing targets and burning down stores really doesn't help racism when trying to protest regardless of race. But are you under the impression most black people riot? Are you really under that impression, though? That's what I want to ask you. Because in my world, that isn't always the case, you know? I don't always see that. What do you think of groups like the Trucker Convoy? Do you think they have any bit of terrorism in their veins too? I mean, the Trucker Convoy, they held up a whole bunch of traffic to get their message out and all that. They were holding up traffic, kind of in the same sense that they want to say Antifa was holding up traffic. They were holding up traffic too. I mean, blacks already get reparations. No, that is not true. Okay, they do not already get reparations in Oakland and Detroit. Don't they get like 1,000 a month? And they're working on. Well, if they're doing it now, they're doing it as of recent. I mean, that's what I would say. They're doing it more as of recent, but I don't think it's been an ongoing thing per se. I just think if you get some educated people together and they can pull that money together and do something with it. Of course, you can't give it to everybody who's black, no, but you have to give it to a group who at least is good with finances or something, and then they can use that reparations to build something. You can't give it to everyone, and they can't be buying weed and cigarettes all the time with the money, no. They can't be doing that. No, there's a deeper, detailed plan to it. I mean, that's not going to work if they're doing that. Hey, damn, what's happening? When the protesters tore down our Abe Lincoln statue for being racist. Oh, well, it all depends, I guess. I think they are slow on it, yes. They have to pass it. I don't think they have passed it yet, Ice Milk. I don't think they passed it yet. But once they do, it would be interesting to see what happens. But they cannot be spending it on weed and cigarettes and booze all the time. No, they can't. They have to get their best financial members together and discuss what they're going to do with it, is what I would say. Or those who get their money, who know how to use it at least, can do something. Because that's the only way it's going to work, I feel. They voted in. I already read that. Never mind. Right, and that has to be. Some people have to have restraint, though, and not go to those all the time. That's the thing. They have to have some kind of a restraint. Michigan is the new Colorado. So you're telling me that Michigan's on course to become the new Colorado? Are people moving into Michigan now because of this? Is Michigan getting new residents because of this? Where Michigan is cheaper to live than Colorado, are people moving there now? I need to know, since you're mentioning this to me. Are people flooding Michigan now? I know you are, but someone else is talking about Michigan more than you, so. All right. Ohio. I'm not going to Ohio. Forget about it. I'm looking west. I'm going more west, actually. Life is taking me more out west. I've already been east already. If I really thought Ohio was worth it, I would have stopped there instead of Indianapolis. But I didn't really see much there, really. Yeah, why would I go to Toledo of all places? You think I would like Toledo, knowing me? How about Los Angeles? Huh? Even Las Vegas. Christ, it's like I don't know if people are coming to Michigan because the lockdowns are harsher here than Gresham. But no, Toledo would be one of the last places I would want to go, honestly. Are you trolling me right now? Come off it. Any place I went to that I thought was going to be cheaper never ended up being cheaper. And there was a lack of availability. So guess what? Los Angeles it is. Because I never get the benefits of any of that shit. I'm going to LA. That's my announcement. If I have not announced it yet, I'm going to LA. I'm going to join the stars of Los Angeles. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to make it over there. Right. A lot of options. You'll at the very least have tons of options, yeah. The Supreme Court is fully Yeah, but that still ends up being as much as Los Angeles in the long haul. I don't want to live in motels forever. So I can't really. At that point, you might as well just go to LA. I mean, really. What else? The Supreme Court is fully Democratic. The governor is Democratic. I don't even think the Republicans will do good in Michigan in midterms. It's turning very. But Colorado's conservative for the most part, though. I don't see Colorado as an overly liberal state. I just don't. Maybe the big city, maybe Denver makes it so, but I don't know about. I don't see Colorado as all that liberal, really. Other than the pot, I don't. I don't see it. It's like another Oregon almost. LA best rent is like a 3K. No, no, wrong. You know how expensive it is when you can't get one of those deals? Republican states are the worst. I'm telling you, they're the fucking worst and the most expensive. Then you got to deal with lower wages. Then sometimes you got to deal with an unemployment problem, depending on where you're at. South Carolina, terrible. I ended up paying more than I would have ever imagined over there. I'm telling you. Yeah, pretty much. But who cares? Who cares? I have nothing to lose at this fucking point. Now I gotta get out of the red states. This shit. So Michigan is the new Colorado then, Ice Milk. But the only difference is they have Detroit. Denver doesn't have a place like Detroit there. I mean, Colorado doesn't have a place like Detroit. Many, yeah, for 600 exactly. Many Mexicans are turning their extra rooms into income. Americanized Mexicans, yeah, probably if they're in the business of investing, probably, yeah. You went out there for my internship and couldn't find a decent place, cheap. Ended up sleeping on a friend's. Well, whatever it takes. If I end up doing that, so be it. Because I can't get anything where I am now. It's hopeless. Omaha, Nebraska is hopeless. Hey, Vegas, what do you think about Omaha, Nebraska? Do you know about their housing situation over there? Their housing situation's horrible over here. There's like nothing available, literally over here. Nothing. Absolutely nothing over here. Detroit is not safe with the $1 houses. You're looking at $50K for something decent. And then what would that rent average out to be? $400 a month? If someone's gonna rent their place out, that's $50,000. I mean, no, I wouldn't move there either, really. I've always wanted to visit Detroit to see how it was, but I wouldn't move there. Yeah, Detroit's not even all that cheap, really, is it? In the scheme of things, it's really not. You're paying more money than you would ever imagine. Those $1 homes end up being what? When you repair them, what's it end up being? Like thousands of dollars to repair those, probably. Yeah, Detroit is expensive in the nice parts. I would imagine what they're promoting in Detroit is going to be more money. That you're not going to find those $1 houses on Craigslist, or they're not going to be moving ready at all. You're going to have to spend extra money and all this kind of shit. You can't live there. You only visit the Bloomfield Hills area. You're complicating me very bad. You realize all this is above my head? I don't get into real estate like this. In fact, I wish our system was not based off all of this. Actually, I think everything should be public housing, if you want my opinion. I don't think there should be much private ownership of anything anymore. It's really getting to that point. Right, but the other costs are still going to add up. It doesn't matter. Why do you think I made my decision to go to LA? Because everywhere is expensive. Everywhere. You're getting hit no matter where you go. You might as well be in the best weather in the fucking nation and where the stars are, at least. That's my take. I'm not dicking around in any of these other hellholes anymore. It's Los Angeles or it's nothing. That's the point where I'm at right now. I've wasted too much time in all these other places that suck, really. Including Florida. Yes. Including Florida. Mm-hmm. Well, this conversation turned into something that I'm extremely exhausted talking about. Because it's not my angle. I don't do real estate, alright? I'm exhausted talking about it. And it exhausts me to hear people talking about how many properties they own when they don't plan to give them out to anybody. It's exhausting to me. I have to make that point clear as day right now. I just can't stand that, when people talk about all the properties they own. Like, I don't care. Unless you're going to give one of them up or something. To someone who needs it, like me. Okay? If you want to go there with it. How about let's end the live stream? Because I don't want to hang around. I'm getting extremely exhausted talking about this with you. Yeah. And you're never in here, hardly. So again, this was a surprise to me. You're never in here. I wanted to talk to you privately. I didn't want to talk to you on this right here. I didn't want to do that. So that disrupted my plans once again, Vegas Vixen. I wanted to talk to you in private, not here, and you didn't respond to me in private. I'm starting to wonder if you're all about the fuckery down here, too. I'm really wondering now. I'm not talking about nothing with you. Because it's clear you're not serious about discussing things with me that could be real life. Where did you respond to me? I didn't see it anywhere. I did not see it. No, I cannot. I told you I had to get a new phone. I lost phone numbers. I told you to call me, God damn it. I made it clear that I lost your phone number, did I not? And I did not hear from you at all. So, apparently you missed that. But now, I might not even want to bother. If it's going to be that much aggravation for me, I'm not going to bother. There's only so far I will go before you cut off. Before you cut the fuck off. Okay? Because I will demod you if you keep up your shenanigans in here. I will. And I'll stop following you on that other side. I don't know what to think. But I'm serious. I'm not playing on here. My intentions on here are extremely serious. I have to remove your mod. You did it to yourself, just so you know. You couldn't come right at me and talk to me in private right away. It's now day 5, and I don't think I've heard from you. Day 5. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. No, I checked it. You did not. I would have got them by now. You did not. I checked. I didn't hear any response. And I'm not cutting my stream off just to check, because I checked. Okay? I'm okay. I could be better, though. See, I'm not a fake and bake like a lot of people are on here. Because now I'm wondering, Vegas Vixen, if you're a reliable person to set something up with in real life. On my way to LA, I maybe wanted to come see you, maybe. But you clearly are not serious enough, I see. Right now. So I'm going to just pass right by you, and you're going to be on the long list of people who didn't get to meet me when I came to their areas. You're going to be another one who missed the bus. I hate to tell you. You're going to be another one who missed the bus. Like all you late motherfuckers out there. Jill's 2 hours from me. She didn't take advantage of it. Jasmine Starr lived around me before. That became an issue. The only one who wanted to meet me was Tasha Teeling, but she had so many issues. I told her I don't want to take a chance with that. I didn't meet Craig. Nope. So, add to the list of everyone who missed the boat, you know? Of meeting the great one right here. When I become famous, you're all going to regret it. You're all going to regret it. Telling you right now, you're all going to regret it. That you didn't meet me when you had the chance. You didn't set something up with me when you had the chance. Because I don't wait around forever. You got to be on it. On it, on it, on it. Or there's no deal. You blew it. Be yourself. Now I don't know if she left the chat or if she's still in here now. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Yeah. This is how all that Jasmine Star shit started. With something like this. In the very beginning stages. So fuck you all. You don't want to meet me, go fuck yourself, okay? Go fuck yourself. I don't need you around here. Get lost. Scram. You know, I'm tired of offering to others on here who are ungrateful or they just want to play games. So she's not getting back to me now, so she left the chat, clearly. Yeah, I'm not going to Canada, though. I'm only United States. That's it. United States only. All right? Look. It's not on the radar. Not anywhere on the radar. Thanks, though. But I wouldn't move in with you, Noah. I wouldn't. On where? That site? Or the email? Or my phone? Where? Where? You have too many messages and forgot your username there. The way you say it sounds very suspect. You have an exclamation point, like you're trying to prove something or whatever. I don't know how to read you on here right now. But if you're trying to manipulate me, I'm not gonna tolerate that at all, Vegas. I'm not gonna tolerate it. So am I supposed to interrupt my show to check that right now? Because I'd have to open up a whole other window just to see if that is the case. I mean it. If you don't have a message waiting for me over there, then let me see if I can get in over here. Let's see. You have too many messages and you can't find me somehow. You cannot find me. Why do you get so many messages on that? Why do you get so many messages on there anyway? That shouldn't that be like a hideaway that you're away from YouTube and all that? If you have a message in here for me, we're good. But if you don't, we're not good. Alright, let's see here. What does it say? Is there anything in here? Did you respond? Let me see. Did you? No, you didn't. There's no message in there from you. So hard block. What good are you? Really? What good are you? You're out of here. Goodbye. And don't think about talking to me when it's convenient for you. You're hard blocked, Vegas Vixen. I hope you enjoy. Because you did it to yourself. You did it to your damn self. Okay? So there. You didn't want to talk to me like a normal person. Well, and that's how this whole Jasmine Star thing started, Barter. It started just like this. And then it evolved as years went on because Jasmine Star kept showing up in certain chats, you know. That's how this happened. Okay? So don't blame me. Don't blame me. They do it to themselves every fucking time. And I have proof of that they do this every fucking time to themselves. But you're all going to be sorry when I make it famous, and I'm going to be laughing at all of you. I'm just going to be laughing at all you losers when I make it famous. That's all there is to it. You're going to say then that I didn't tell you so? You're going to say then? That's like passing up on Michael Jordan in the draft. You're foolish. You're very fucking foolish. Now, any chance you had is completely gone now. Once I give up on you, that's it. You can't talk your way back in. Oh, am I really? Time out for that. That's a disrespectful comment, Norma. And I'm not tolerating it. I'll never be famous. I have no goals. I'm just no. Because if I do make it famous, the joke is going to be on everyone down here. The joke is going to be on everybody down here. I'm serious. I'm going to end this now. There's really nothing going on at this point. I didn't want the conversation to turn into what it did. So, Barter, are there any last words from you tonight before I end it? In case you're watching, Barter, do you have anything else to say? Final thoughts on anything around here? I guess I'm shutting it down then.